Not long ago, while covering the Tamia Taylor case out of Tennessee, I discussed the similarities between the 21-year-old's case and the case of Kenneka Jenkins of Chicago from 6 years ago. Both young women ended up dying mysteriously after going out with friends to party. It was really eerie that Tamia's friends' names were all similar to Kenneka Jenkins, and I always wonder how the two souls were connected. The Kenneka Jenkins story shocked the nation back in 2017 and received a lot of media attention, which was perfect grounds for an ambulance-chasing opportunist like Andrew Holmes. Andrew Holmes had built a reputation for himself in Chicago as an activist. So every time there was some type of crisis, he would show up hogging the cameras and taking over the story and the narrative, appearing to offer support to the families while also reminding them to donate organs. At the same time, he appeared to be an unofficial arm of the local police department. Holmes would eventually dub himself as a liaison between the community and the police. There's a case where he showed up for one shooting victim, a much younger single mother, and that woman ended up becoming one of his girlfriends. As far as the timeline of the wife and girlfriends and all these babies, I don't know, maybe they had an arrangement. But he's definitely known to keep girlfriends all over Cook County. Then he showed up for the mother of Kenneka Jenkins, and it didn't take long for her mother to completely fall out with him and wanted nothing but for him to leave them alone after Kenneka's mom insinuated that something fishy was going on between Andrew and the hotel where her daughter was found in a freezer.
He came to me up out the blue. He acted as if he was for me. But then he came out here every time I talked to him. It took him to have to go talk to the police. I'm thinking he a friend. But then he called me this morning and tells me, oh no, the hotel's not making any money. So I think you need to go on live and stop the protest.
We're going to get into that a little later, but first, I'll explain how a man that was once on the opposing side of the city girl mayor is now backing her in her corner and being praised for his loyalty to the mayor.
I support you, Mayor, and even you, Andrew Holmes. I think it's really cool.
So far, this sounds crazy to me. This sounds ridiculous.
Can you be quiet, please? Ooh. No, exactly.
Okay, Chief.
Enough.
And I do too.
Enough.
And I do too. Be quiet, disrespectful, ignorant. You see what I'm saying? But Andrew Holmes, you are a super loyal person. You are a super loyal person, and I commend you. I do. You a clown. Look what you got on. You know what I mean? But Andrew Holmes, people can say what they want to say about you, but loyalty and being a person of integrity and good character, it goes a long way. A lot of you all supported Mayor when she first came on board, and then you flipped. You all pretended. And I just commend you, Andrew Holmes. And I want to say keep going.
Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Andrew Holmes grew up mostly in Chicago with ties to Montgomery, Alabama. So when he had the opportunity to join the city girl mayor, Teflon Tiff, for the $22,000 field trip to walk across the bridge in Selma, Alabama, it was a no-brainer for him. An opportunity to not only take a vacation back to an area that he was very familiar with, but to also get some publicity. That's because in front of the cameras and on the
I always like to go off appearance, but you should never go off appearance. But I can read body language and appearance a lot, and this hairline, this is not doing it for me. There's something going on with this guy. I've never seen this video. I don't even know what she's saying is true, but the hairline automatically makes me shady about this guy. This guy, not every guy with a hairline like this, just this guy. So we'll continue.
news are his favorite places to be. And with Tiffany Tahoe making sure she can also get some camera time.
Mayor of the village of Dolton, and I'm also the supervisor of Thorn Township, which is the largest in the state of Illinois.
How many times have you come to the bridge? That's my first question.
This is my first year, so I'm excited. Okay. I'm all about the movement and the progress of developing areas such as South Alabama.
Okay.
You know, so she can make a name for herself outside of the Southland of Chicago, where she's a self-proclaimed, quote, most powerful woman. It's not surprising that Andrew Holmes was right behind her. Tiffany Tahoe is happy to have Andrew Holmes by her side now as the only trustee of Dolton that's so loyal to the mayor that you will never see him holding her accountable for her actions. He condones it all and seems to be a part of a large team of people assisting the mayor with covering up all of her dirty deeds. Andrew Holmes is really popular with the ladies, as you can see him popping it for female supporters here, while Teflon Tiff held his shirt like his puppet master, which ironically depicts their current working relationship.
What is he doing?
Andrew Holmes easily submitted to the mayor's power as he wants nothing but to be in the good graces of powerful people. He's been doing that for decades as he worked for many local Chicago politicians. As close as they are now, it may be hard for some to believe that initially the city girl mayor tried to block him from participating in Dolton politics. As a trustee, Tiffany Tahoe pushed against Andrew Holmes and tried to get him kicked off the ballot when he ran for the same trustee position he's got now. Yeah, the only trustee she can count on now to allow her to get away with her crimes is the one she tried to block from becoming a trustee in the first place.
No.
Why? Because Andrew Holmes wasn't qualified to be an elected official of Dolton because he was not a Dolton resident. That's a requirement. And although Andrew Holmes is in Cook County, Chicago, he is not in Dolton. So Tiffany Tahoe was right about that part. He wasn't qualified. However, he was allowed to run anyway, as the previous crooked mayor vouched for Andrew Holmes, and Tiffany Tahoe definitely wasn't happy about that, so she also wanted the corrupt mayor out of there. She ran against him. And get this, Andrew Holmes also joined the race. Now that was a very tight race in the primary, but Tiffany won the primary, and it was already determined whoever won the primary would end up beating out the conservative candidate in the general election because the area is pretty liberal, and there was no way that a red candidate would garner any support in the village. I would say the people who ran against the city girl mayor were all sketchy people, so Tiffany Tahoe told the people that she would come in and stop the corruption when she really just picked up where the last one left off and went further in an extremely flamboyant way. And as the city girl mayor started her own reality show or scripted series.
Somebody know something. Don't nobody know nothing? Nobody. Nobody? Trustees? Nobody? Somebody know something. Ain't that right, Jake?
I mean, what is she doing? This is what New Jack City, Nino Brown type, us other folks know what this is, but Lord, give me strength to carry on the behavior of these people. I know not anything of this.
I think you know something. Yeah, Jason, you know something.
Andrew Holmes was right there. When she went to Alabama, he was there too. When she went to Vegas, where she spent thousands of dollars from taxpayers of Dolton and Thornton, he was there too. And you can find him at every board meeting where he can collect his trustee salary. The mayor said that she wanted the village to be a second chance place and give opportunities to criminals, which is why most people on her staff have a criminal background, from active registered offenders to scammers and even murderers. Andrew Holmes had a background back in the day that he sealed long ago, but he used his background to connect and get a position with the CTA, the Chicago Transit Authority, where he's been working as a rail janitor for years. He was able to secure that CTA position through their Second Chance program. That program was designed to help train former convicts and people who got into trouble with the law, helping them gain permanent employment. Other than that, Andrew Holmes is mostly known for his crisis responder role. Whenever there was a crisis in Chicago involving Black people, he was on the scene right away, positioning himself as a representative or an unofficial but official-looking spokesperson for the victim's family. No different for the case of Kenneka Jenkins. Kenneka Jenkins was a 19-year-old student from Chicago. On September 9th, 2017, she borrowed her mother's car and went out with friends to celebrate landing a job at a nursing home. Sadly, Kanika would never start her first day of work because that night, she and her friends ended up at a party at the Crown Plaza Hotel where her friends lost Kanika and eventually ended up back at her mother's car that they rode to the party in with the keys to the car and Kanika's cell phone, but no Kanika. The young lady said they couldn't find Kanika, who was later seen on video stumbling through the hallways of the hotel before ending up in a freezer. Kanika's mother wanted answers because the hotel initially wouldn't cooperate, sparking protests outside of the hotel. Andrew Holmes tried to control the situation and told Kanika's mother to tell protesters to go away.
He came to me about the blue. He acted as if he was for me. But then he came out here every time I talked to him. It took him to have to go talk to the police. I'm thinking he a friend. But then he called me this morning and tells me, oh no, the hotel's not making any money. So I think you need to go on live and stop the protest.
We ain't stopping.
But he can't. Thank God he can't. Andrew Holmes.
Was that the activist? Was that the Chicago activist? Excuse me, ma'am. Was that the Chicago activist?
Yeah, but he told me he was the investigator first, so I'm trusting him. You know, 'cause I'm looking for help. That's all I ask for. I'm not looking for no run. Exactly.
Kanika's mom was confused by Andrew Holmes, who she believed was on her side, but insinuated to supporters that he was paid off by another party to control the victim's family. And honestly, this is pretty common with crooked crisis hustlers. Something will happen at a business, and the business will pay people with influence to tame the community, to get the victims' families to act in a...
Like, I'm watching this and like, I'm getting kind of sad. It's like, bruh, why would you do this? And I know there's a money component to it, and I see the money component clearly, but man, I don't know what to say about this. I don't even know if I want to continue watching this stuff, but I'm gonna put myself through this.
Desired manner, whatever way is more favorable to the business. So these folks will come in appearing to be on one side, but they're really all over the place and you never really know whose side they're on. And that's what the citizens of Dolton are recognizing about Andrew Holmes. Whose side are you on? The people's side? Or do you always seem to be on the side of whoever has the power? The family of Kanika Jenkins cut ties with Andrew Holmes, and 6 years later, in October 2023, it was announced that the family reached a settlement with the hotel. Now in his 60s, a reformed Pookie, father of 6 for multiple women, I notice a lot of people like Andrew Holmes, they have multiple jobs but don't seem to be putting in work anywhere. Andrew Holmes is supposedly still working for the CTA, where he's possibly violating policies that address full-time CTA employees working other positions. Many also suspect that Andrew Holmes is on the payroll of the City Girl Mayor Tiffany Teflon Tahoe, but because the mayor is blocking everyone from access to see financial records, how Andrew Holmes is benefiting is yet to be determined. Like a lot of so-called community activists of his generation, and even the younger ones, you really start to question, are you for the community or are you working against the community to line your own pockets? A serious issue in the Black community, making it difficult for Black people to trust activists who present themselves as working for the people, like Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, and especially very questionable organizations like BLM, which is why the stench of betrayal of the people is always in the air. I mean, Tiffany Tahoe's right-hand woman stood loud and proud and testified that Andrew Holmes, his loyalty was to the mayor.
Andrew Holmes, you are a super loyal person. You are a super loyal person.
Yes, his loyalty is to the mayor, not the taxpayers. And as a trustee, your job is to serve the people, not cover for the mayor, Andrew Holmes. So yes, it's been confirmed that Andrew Holmes is the mayor's right-hand man, or at least one of them, because she's got a bunch of men around her that she's...
So I'm like, what's wrong with doing? Is this the way that just business is supposed to be done in politics? apparently it is. Is any politician doing the right thing? I do understand that you got to cut deals. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, you want this done in this district, you want this done over here. Okay, so we'll do this and we'll do that. I do understand that part, but just outright just evil at the detriment of the people that you're supposed to be serving. You were elected by these people. You're supposed to be doing what the people want done. But no, F that. F that. We are in this position of power. We have access to money, and we're just gonna do whatever the heck we want to do. That Satan. That's all that is. That's just Satan. You people, that's all right. Karma's gonna get you. Karma's gonna get you.
He's controlling and have them doing her dirty work. We all know the right-hand woman is loyal because the mayor took her from being a Section 8 waitress to still allegedly getting over on government programs while collecting over 6 figures. So how did the mayor buy Andrew Holmes? You know, because all of this loyalty and tap dancing and popping isn't for free. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Let me know what you think about all of this. Is Andrew Holmes simply an opportunist, or is he one of the mayor's many co-defendants? Special thank you to Felix. I appreciate you, Felix, for all of your support, as well as Gary, Harold, Judas Lion, Orlando, and Havelock. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Lady.
So, this Andrew Holmes character. Just, you know, we're gonna do some research into this guy. You can just look at him and be like, he's just some dirty, nasty. Ugh. He just looks disgusting to me, and I'm not gonna go off one video of what one person says, but there's just certain things about people. You can meet them one time. You can even see them one time, and then you would know. Or you would assume that they're a certain way. But hey, we have it all wrong about Andrew Holmes. Yeah, his hairline does it for me. But I'm gonna look into this Andrew Holmes person, and then we're gonna see what this guy is about.